Hey friends, welcome to the 47th episode of the Sunday Knitting Society podcast. My name is Chelsea and I'm a knitter in Oklahoma City. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. Hope you guys had a good 2 weeks. Wow, I feel like I'm very close. Feels like getting the angle on this thing right is fun every time I do this. Whew, it is hot here today. It is gross. It is almost 100 degrees, so there's no knitwear. I was wearing a scarf earlier today and I had to take it off. There's no way. Like just a little silk scarf and it couldn't make it. Plus I'm upstairs in my house and it's always hotter upstairs. And I actually debated filming downstairs, but I don't know. I couldn't find the right place. So we're just gonna suffer through it up here today. Got my, it is pineapple ginger juice mixed with a whole can of LaCroix. It's really good. Okay, I've had a weird week, 2 weeks. I've had a weird 2 weeks. I have not bought loads of yarn. I have bought some. I've knit on on blankets almost exclusively this week, so you will see that. I've done a ton of spinning. I've been a spinning maniac. I go through this. I get like periods of like I burn myself out on spinning and I'll put it away for months and then come back to it and spin all the time, which is kind of funny because honestly that's what I did with knitting. When I first started knitting, granted I was a student and I was much busier, but I would knit all winter and then in the summer I wouldn't knit at all. Like literally it would just sit dormant without me touching it for the entire summer. And then in the fall I'd pick it back up and start knitting again. And so what's interesting is over time I've now knitting it, I knit every day. For the most part. Some days there's no knitting, but most days I knit at least some. And I'm kind of wondering if that spinning will become that for me, where it's not just seasonal or periodic, it's like constant. But I post on Instagram, so I have an electric eel wheel 6 and I love it. It's fantastic. It's such a good entry point to spinning, I think, because it's not expensive compared to spinning wheels. So like high-end spinning wheels, you can spend upwards of $2,000 on a wheel. That's a lot of money to spend on a new hobby that you aren't sure you're gonna love. And I don't know about anybody else, but my brain struggled to understand how you make yarn in these wheels. Like, is it spinning? Is it the fiber spinning around the big wheel? Like it just didn't make sense in my brain, and I didn't have any opportunity to try one. To my knowledge, there's nowhere in the state that sells them. I found one thing on Facebook that it was a spinning store, weaving store, but there was like there hasn't been a post on it since 2017, and it doesn't come up on Google Maps, so I don't think it is there anymore. But so for me, the EEW6 conceptually made sense. Like I'm feeding fiber into this little hole, it's spinning it, it's putting spin in it, and that's how you get yarn. It's like winding it onto this bobbin. Like that made sense in my brain. And I just like turn a button to decide how fast this goes. It's also, I think the EEW6 is around $300. So for somebody who wants to get into spinning, that's definitely much more manageable than a $2,000 wheel. And not all wheels are that expensive. Like I think some wheels are like closer to $400. But for me, it made sense conceptually. It felt like I wasn't spending tons of money on something that I may not end up liking. And it's worked well for me. But I kind of am at the point where like I kind of want a wheel. I like the idea of controlling the speed with the treadle. I don't know. And I've heard that you can do more with those wheels than you can with an electric wheel. So I don't know if that's true, but I want to try one. And I'd posted for people to give me their recommendations because I don't have a way to try out these wheels here in Oklahoma. I did look into rentals. I think most of the rentals that I found were rentals to be used in person in a class at that store. And so it doesn't really make sense for me to book a flight somewhere to go rent a wheel for one evening and then fly back. You know, that didn't make sense. So I didn't, anyway, but I was looking on the Shocked website, and they have a little banner at the top saying, hey, we're at this conference this weekend in Wichita, Kansas. And so I looked it up, and they are exhibiting at the Handweavers Guild of America conference. I think it happens once every 2 years, and it's happening this weekend in Wichita, Kansas, which is like 2 hours for me or less. And it's actually, picking up my mom would be on the way. So I called my mom and I was like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Do you want to go to the Handweavers Guild of America conference with me? And she said yes. So we're actually going later today, and we're going to drive up there. I'm going to pick her up. And there are actually, from what I read, I think there's 3 companies with wheels that all have booths there. So I'm kind of interested to try them out while I'm there and see, like, does the fit feel right? Now, it's obviously not going to be the same as like renting a wheel for a week or a month. You know, that would give me a much better idea, but at least I can get an idea. Is this like a comfortable fit for me, or does this feel wrong? But I don't know if they'll, I've never been to one of these before. I have no idea if they would have wheels in stock with them or if I would just place an order. I don't know. But I would love, in a perfect world, I would love to go there, fall in love with the wheel, and buy it and take it home with me. But we'll see. I don't know if I have no idea if that's how this works at all. I don't know. I'm just happy to get a chance to actually try them. But, I think the companies, I think I might be mispronouncing this, but Louet is one, Shocked is one. I forget the other one. Yeah, I can't remember the other one, but at least those 2 are there, so I can try out both those wheels and maybe get a new spinning wheel. But yeah, I've been doing a ton of spinning. I actually counted it up, and I'm almost on track. I think I'm almost done with a second bobbin. And once I apply that yarn, I think I will have more yardage than miles ridden by the tour. I think I'm on track. So they tell you every day, like, how many miles have been ridden, how many miles are left. And I am, like, if you do 1 yard to 1 mile, I'm like on pace with them, which is kind of fun. But I've really been enjoying that. I have a huge stash of fiber that I've just collected over the years from fiber clubs, and I'm not in any fiber clubs right now. I told myself I wasn't allowed to buy any fiber, and I needed to use up what I have and then buy more fiber, but that didn't work. I did buy some. It's not here yet, but I bought some from Hedgehog. It came up on my Instagram, and I was like, that needs to happen. So I've got a few different colors coming from them. But so yeah, I've been spinning, and I've been knitting on blankets, and that's it. So I have 1 FO, and it is a momentous FO. It is also buried under fiber. I finished the garter stripe baby blanket. I kind of don't even want to unwrap it because it's so nicely wrapped, but I will. So this was a DK weight set from Oh, I had it in my phone, but I'm using my phone. It's not Moondrake. Moon something fibers. But it's a Christmas colorway, but it's not like an overtly Christmas colorway. So I started this over a year ago. I think I started this like last June, and I finally finished it. I don't know what got into me. I kind of picked it up. So I'd done this one and this one, and I was on here. Or no, I think I'd done like the first row here. And I counted it up, and I was like, okay, I know how many garter bump rows I would need to finish this thing. And then I was like, okay, I think it was like 150 or something. And I was like, so if I do 4 garter bumps a day, then I will be done in X amount of days. But I knew I wasn't gonna actually do that. And then it was just so nice to knit on during the tour. The only like t-shirt sweater project or garment project I'm working on right now is a Tulsta tee in fingering weight, and I'm not enjoying it. I'm just not. It's the first time I've used that yarn. I think it's the Cotton Merino by PurlSoho, by Knitting for Olive, and it is so lightweight that it's hard to feel it. I don't know. I kind of burnt out on that project, but this was like hefty and easy, and I could watch the tour and I could just like turn off my brain and knit. And so before I knew it, I was like in the dark turquoise, and then I thought, well, that's just silly. I'm just gonna finish it, and I did. And I have no idea who this is going to. This might just be mine. It's kind of big for a baby. It would probably be okay for a toddler. So this might go to one of my nieces. I don't know. We will see. But for now, it's mine. Oh gosh, I can't fold very well. My mom would be disappointed in my folding. And that's it. That's my only FO. But I realized as soon as I got done with that, or as I was finishing that, it hit me. I was like, I have a nephew who's gonna be born like at the end of August. He is not actually related to me. It's my best friend in the whole wide world, and she has a daughter already, and she is pregnant with her son, and he is coming at the end of August. Fingers crossed. Hopefully everything goes smoothly with that. But I was like, it took me a year to knit that blanket. And I have a baby coming at the end of August. Crap. I was like, I need to knit something. But I was like, I really, 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 really did not want to knit another garter stripe blanket. And I didn't think she'd like that blanket for him. I don't think that's really her colors. And so I started looking through different possible blanket patterns. I knew I wanted something small. I'd thought about, oh, I'm not getting up to go get it, but I had some Camellia Fiber Co. fingering weight in a gray and a pale green, and it's literally the softest yarn I've ever touched, but it's fingering weight, and I did not want it. And it was only 2 skeins, and so it was going to be like a tiny blanket. And then I thought, oh, I'll just knit him a half and half triangles wrap, because those go fast. So what I ended up doing, oh crap, I'm gonna forget the name of it. I will put it, it'll always be in the description box below. I believe it is called the Tumbling Blocks blanket. It's from PurlSoho. It's a free pattern. Is it not adorable? And yes, I made a mistake. I was going off the charted pattern, and I didn't realize that this thing was supposed to be garter. So I fixed it on the second one, but by the time I realized it, I was like at the top of the diamond, and I had absolutely no will to go back and fix it. So he's a baby. It's still a diamond. It's just not a complete garter diamond. And if I wouldn't have pointed it out, probably half the people would never notice it. But I am flying through this thing. I am already, so one repeat is from here to the top of here. You do, for the crib size blanket, you do 3. So I'm already on my second repeat. This is like, man, this is nice. It is just enough thinking, but it's intuitive. So the only times I struggle is like this section here. So you basically, there's 4 sections in each repeat. And this is a free pattern, so I don't feel bad saying this. So you just knit for like up to this point, you knit purl stitches, knit stitches, purl stitches, knit stitches, and then you start adding in this diamond. And so you have to kind of go out to a certain point and then back in. The only parts I struggle with are the very beginning, the very end, and out here. Those are the only parts that I have to look at the chart for. Everything else is completely intuitive. You do have to count a little bit, but I like counting stitches sometimes. If it's not like a lot of them, I actually kind of enjoy it. And the most you ever count is 15, so it's really not that bad. And I have little stitch markers separating all of the sections, and then you have a I-cord at the end. The only thing I don't like is there's no I-cord at the bottom, and so the stockinette stitch rolls pretty bad. And I could go back in later and add in a I-cord. I might do that if, I don't know, I might not. I'm just gonna block it really well when it's done, and I think all of that will lay flat when I block it. But I'm using, oh dear, I got rid of all the ball bands. I'm using the Wandering Flock, and I think it's just the worsted merino. This is in the Celadon colorway, and I had 3 skeins of this. It's extra fine or super fine merino. It is incredibly soft. This stuff feels like cashmere, honestly. Maybe even softer than cashmere. It's really, really nice. But just threw it. I had 3 balls of this. I think in the pattern, I think they actually use a cotton yarn in the PurlSoho version, and that yarn is a little bit, I think it's more of a DK, and since this is worsted, I did go up a needle size to a US 7. And so I knew it was going to be a little wider and maybe a little taller than it's actually, the width is about right. Now it hasn't been blocked yet, so once I block it, it'll probably get bigger. But I figured I was going to eat through more yarn. I keep looking at a spot. I feel like I made a mistake, but I didn't. Okay, good. I did not. Whew. It'd be another one. Just be a little design feature. But I figured 3 balls which is what I had, was not going to be enough. And so I did order more. After I ordered more and then just plowed forward with this blanket, it hit me that they may not be perfectly matching because they're going to be different dye lots. But it's a baby blanket, for heaven's sake. Like, they're going to puke on it. So I don't really care. But I'm loving this so much. This is like, it's pretty much perfect Tour de France swatching or knitting, because it is very intuitive, and you can see if you've made a mistake pretty easily. So what I've been doing is I spin for the first half of the stage, or sometimes more. If it's like a sprint stage, let's be real, those are boring, until like the last 20 kilometers. But I will spin until I feel like the anxiety is ratcheting up, and then I will stop spinning and I will knit. And that is because I can knit without looking at my knitting. I can watch the TV and knit at the same time. I can't spin and not look at my spinning all the time. So the irony is this blanket got put in this bag. So it's more motivation to finish it because I want this bag back. Although I don't have anything to put in it right now, because honestly, like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to Flock in a month. I want to have something cute to wear at Flock. I mean, I have cute stuff, but I want to knit something for Flock. But the time is running out. But I also figured, worst case scenario, I will wear something I already own. Oh, sorry, I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a big, like, yarn fuzz. But yeah, I can wear something I already own, but this baby's coming. And granted, he's coming to North Carolina in August. He's not gonna need a blanket. I mean, I'm sure they'll keep their house cold, but like, does he really need a big cozy blanket? No, but I want him to have it at the advent of his life. Okay, I actually do have one more whip. It's in my favorite bag of all time. It is my sock, and it has some progress on it. Not like lots, but I need to measure it because we're getting really close to when I want to do my contrast heel. And sorry, I just smelled something really bad, but I think it was my feet. I haven't tried this on yet, so I was like, it can't be this. It's not. Gosh, that was quite the whiff I just got there. Sorry. I mean, not that you guys can smell it, but sorry for talking about feet. Gosh. Anyway, so that needs to get a heel pretty soon, I think. I just need to measure it. I usually go 5 to 6 inches and then add a heel. So, and I don't have the contrast color with me right now, but it's a purple and it'll be very pretty. So that's that. Okay. Whew. All right, I did one swatch this week and it was very interesting. So, oh, when did I buy this? This was back at like one of my, it was my first Rhinebeck. It was at the Wool and Folk, and Wool Dreamers had Manchelope, which is yarn that comes from the sheep that makes manchego cheese, which is delightful. It's a Spanish sheep, and they had some unspun. So I bought 6 plates of this stuff. And this, I think they did have some different colors at the time, but I really just wanted a gray, and they happened to have enough of this in stock. Actually, I want to say, I think I just bought one of these, and then I bought a second. Well, now I don't know. Actually, I think I waited till I got home and I bought it online after I got home. I don't know. Anyway, I've got 6 plates of this stuff, and I just wanted to use it. It's so interesting to me. So this stuff comes double stranded. It is unspun yarn, so it's incredibly delicate. There's no spin in it, so it just comes apart. And I've heard people talk about this stuff for so long, and I've been craving fall and winter garments like crazy lately. I think that's partly also why I don't want to knit a fingering weight t-shirt, is I want cozy, even though it is 100 degrees here and cozy sounds horrible. But I decided to go ahead and try and just try to swatch with it. I was like, I might hate this. That's fine. At least I know. And it is interesting. It is definitely, like, I'm not a tight knitter. I'm not a loose knitter, but I'm not a tight knitter. I'm a pretty average knitter. And I didn't have trouble with tension on this. I don't feel like, I never broke it. I didn't feel like I had a hard time. Like, I didn't feel like I was gonna rip the yarn. What I had a hard time with is getting a clean, like when you insert your needle through the loop, I would catch it sometimes and I would like split the yarn. And sorry, I feel like my shoulder needs to pop. It's like really bothering me right now. I can blame my physical therapist for that. He made me lift weights. It was rude. I digress. But yeah, that's where I kind of felt like, yeah, I was catching it on things and splitting it a little bit more. And so that's where it got stressful. And also like ripping this stuff out. Like if you make a mistake, just embrace it. It's not coming out. So I swatched for the clay sweater by Ozetta. And this is supposed to be, actually I think it's upside down. I think this is the top. I don't think it matters. This is supposed to be a 4-inch swatch on the recommended needles. And I remember when I was knitting this, I thought, there's absolutely no way I can knit on a smaller needle. Like I can't do it. And I think I could, but it felt like this was as small a needle as I ever want to go on this stuff. This is over 8 inches. So my gauge is literally twice what it should be. And it is pretty see-through. I don't know if you can really tell. Oh, hello, sun. Yeah, you really can't tell, but it's pretty see-through. Or not, see-through is not the right word. It's a loose gauge. So I can see through this into the light. I can see details behind it that like if that's me, I don't want to see that. And this is just too lovely to make it a really loose gauge. So I don't know. I thought about just going for it and knitting 2 needle sizes smaller and knitting down a size and just seeing if that fixed it. I don't really want to swatch again, but I'm also kind of worried because the way that sweater is designed is I would knit the back first, pick up and knit, and then join in the round. But then I'd have to go back later and pick up stitches for the sleeves and the neckband. And I just question how that's gonna work on here with unspun. So I think I might not knit this pattern. I might do a Felix sweater by, I think it's Amy Christoffers. So I might do that because it's a top-down raglan and it's at a fairly loose gauge. So I've done it multiple times. It's easy to do. I wouldn't have to go back later and finish anything. So I might do that. But so that was fun. Now, I have an acquisition. It pertains to this. So, but after that I only have 2 acquisitions. So, I'd had this stuff in my stash for a really long time. I swatched with it and I felt emboldened. And I was like, I can try Newton. And I followed them on Instagram and they were posting photos and I was like, oh my gosh, these colors are so pretty. And I'd heard through the grapevine that like, if you don't get on the Patreon, you're never gonna get any. It sells out so fast. And I saw that they had a shop update. I think it was like June 30th or something. And so I was like, oh, okay, I need to get Patreon. And so I signed up for Patreon on like the 27th or something. I feel like my dates are off, but whatever. And then my dates are off. Anyway, so I signed up like a few days before the update because I would say with most shops, if they're going to have like early shopping, it's like a day before or like 6 hours before or something. Newton is a full 10 days before a shop update. So the patrons get access to the Newton yarn 10 days before the general public do. And so I realized this, of course, after I've signed up for their Patreon. And I was like, well, okay, great. I don't think their next update's till the end of August or like mid-August. But they actually did not sell out as quickly. And I watched one of their latest videos and they said like basically the way that they're doing things now, like they actually tend to have enough stock, which is cool. So I bought, I don't remember the color. I'm gonna pronounce it horribly wrong and I'm so sorry about that. But I got Tumbling, I think. And it is this perfect pale Cinderella blue. My lighting is not fantastic. I don't know if that doesn't help at all. But it is so pretty. But y'all, it is single-stranded. And it is delicate. Oh gosh, that just makes me nervous. Like, there we go. Like, that barely took anything. That is just a wisp. This stuff, I am scared of it. I don't know if I can knit with this stuff. And it also, like, this would be fingering weight. And so I was just assuming that they all came double-stranded. They don't, apparently. I got 5 plates. This is like a mini plate, and then I got 4 more biggies of this. So it's 500 grams, which I figured should be enough for a sweater. I probably could double strand this, but I'm scared. I'm scared too. So I'm thinking what I might do. It is hilarious that I am scared of knitting with yarn. I think I'm just scared that like I'm gonna end up with a sweater that is like 50% spit spliced and just looks like yarn and doesn't look like unspun. But I've heard that if you hold it with mohair, it makes it stronger and less likely to break. I don't like mohair, but I'm thinking about getting some Surrey alpaca, because that would also add a little bit of heft to it. The other thing I thought about is, where'd it go? I have some down here. So like, Holstgarn makes some fingering weight alpaca called Titicaca. I think, yeah, it's 100% alpaca. It's like fingering lace weight. And obviously these colors I wouldn't put together, but like I could get a pale blue or like a gray or something like that and put it with this. So we'll see. But this is gonna sit for a minute while I make up my mind on what I want to do with it. But it is really soft. I will give them that. It is absolutely soft. And the colors are just so pretty. It is like, it's so variable. Like it's really a tonal. I love, yeah, you can see that pretty good there. That's just so pretty. So I can't wait to use it. I'm scared. I think I want to knit with this guy first because this is sturdier. This doesn't, like, this takes a little bit more tugging. Like I'm tugging the same amount as I was tugging before, and this is just kind of stretching a little bit. So this feels more resilient, and I feel like I would like to try a project in this, and then if I like it, use that. But anyway, okay. I am so uncomfortably warm upstairs right now. Okay, let's talk about my spinning. So one of my goals with spinning this time is it's basically to use up fiber that I already had. And I had purchased some of Sonder Yarns fiber, and it was the base that the BFL Masham base that their Sunday morning is made out of. And it is lovely. So when I bought it, I think she only had one color of it, and it came straight from the mill, I think. I don't know if they have other colors now or not, but I love this color. And I have to say, the way, I don't have it up here, and I'm not going downstairs to get it, but and I've showed it before. They put it in a braid and then in a big circle in each package. And when I've worked with braids before, they've been pretty compacted, and so you unwind the whole thing, and then it's usually fairly thick. So in my case, I would split it in half. This one comes ready to go. Like, you take out the braid as much as you want of the braid at a time. It is already in a small strip. It is already very light and fluffy. Like you don't have to stretch it out at all. It's just ready to go. It is one of the easiest fibers I have ever spun from. And I have finished 4 of my 6 braids so far. So this is the yarn I'm getting from it. It's probably like DK worsted. But I, so far, have 4 skeins, which is just lovely. I think I have around 1,000 yards. I think is what I got out of it. Like, this one I think just shows it so well. Like, look how pretty that is. Oh. So I'm just doing a 2-ply, nothing fancy. These have all been washed and skeined. And they've all been dried outside too, which is nice. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet, but I'm I'm probably gonna have a little shy of a sweater quantity, but I think it would be fun to mix some like spin cycle or some other hand dyed in with this. And so I might do like a color work with this. I think that'd be fun. This could be like my base color, and then I did see that Andrea Mowry, her Rhinebeck sweater is an all over color work, and I believe it is worsted. So this might be my base color for her thing. And I still will probably get 2 more skeins out of this, because each pair was from one, like each, okay, so I'd spin up one whole braid on a bobbin, then spin up a second braid on a bobbin, and then ply those together, and I would get 2 skeins out of those. So basically each braid is giving me 1 skein. So I will still have 2 more. So that is the first thing I did. What I've been doing, because I was afraid if I just did gray yarn that was all the same, I would get really bored of it and then just give up. So I've been doing like 2 braids, plying it, and then spinning something completely different and colorful. So the next one I did was some I got from Moondrake. It's very different and very fun. I don't really want to unwrap all this, but you can kind of see. So actually, the way this ended up working out with the way I spun it is the braid went from like pale pinks and like beiges and kind of like this pistachio green in here. And then it went to a bright yellow. Actually, was it yellow or green? I think it went to a green. Sorry, it went to like this green, and then it went to this like crazy yellow, and that's what it ends on. So the yarn is actually one long fade. It doesn't go back and forth. So I was able to get this probably close to sport weight, I think. I don't know if this is focusing on, I can't see it. There we go. I hope that's focusing. I think I was able to get it about sport weight. So I think what I want to do is actually knit a hat or a cowl. Actually, no, I know what I was going to do. I already made up my mind and I forgot. I'm going to make Le Bandana by La Bien-Aimée and start at one end and then like end on the other end with the different colors so you get to see the whole process. I think that'd be really fun. And I think I could easily get a whole one out of this. Oh, I actually have my notebook. Let's see, I forgot how many yards this was, but I've been taking notes. So this one is 288 yards and 100 grams. And I don't remember what the fiber content was. I don't remember. I didn't write it down, and I've already gotten rid of that thing. I was trying to see if I could do the math on what I have for the Sandra yarn, and I can't. I think I'm like 800 yards on that, actually. So that was fun. And then my second one that I did is when I first started spinning, I was spinning because I was getting fiber clubs, and one of the fiber clubs I was in was Nest Fiber Club. And one month I got a color and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I want to make a sweater out of this. And so you have an option to buy more bags of fiber. And so I think I'd asked on here maybe, like, how many ounces do I need to make a sweater? And I want to say someone gave me a tip, and I did the math and then added a little bit. And I believe I have 10 bags of this fiber. They are 4-ounce, 100-gram bags of this fiber. That is massive overkill. I do not need 10 bags of fiber. I really don't. I spun up one and I got, how much did I get? I got 322 yards out of one. I don't need 10. I could make a cable sweater in this. I don't want to, but the colorway is called Pinata and it's a Targhee base, and I've already skeined mine up because I want to swatch with it, but it is just the most fun. It's kind of funny because it honestly gives me the vibes of the first sweater I knit out of my handspun. I was gonna swatch with it, but then I thought, well, why not just start the sweater? But I still haven't spun up any of the other yarn. So I figured I have enough bags of this stuff. I can do a test skein and see if I like it. So maybe I'll make a hat out of it. Maybe that's a good idea. Or I can make a Sophie shawl or scarf out of it. That would be a good idea. Just give me an idea what the yarn is gonna look like knit up. One of the things I was worried about is that it would all look kind of brown and muddled, but it really doesn't. And the other thing I didn't want, since I'm doing this in a garment, I do not want it to micro stripe. And so I intentionally did not pay any attention to which end of the fiber I was picking up. I split the fiber into quarters and then just did 2 quarters per bobbin. I made a mega bobbin. Like, I was determined this was all gonna be one skein and I was not going to have 2 skeins. I wasn't gonna have a knot in there. And so I really pushed the limits of that bobbin. It was slightly stressful to spin it on. I was like, it's just gonna slide off and get like all in the works of the spinning machine, but it didn't. So I don't know. I'm happy with how it turned out. It is very loud, so I don't really want to do like something that you want to see the texture in. I might still do something with texture, but something where it's not cables. So that's what I mean. So I don't want to do cables and then not be able to see them because of all the colors. But I might do like a moss stitch or something like that. I don't really enjoy knitting moss stitch, so I like the look of it. I don't like the actual knitting of it. But I don't know. I'll have to look. Maybe I could do, and I have to make sure my gauge works, but could maybe do a stick season. That'd be kind of fun, like that at the top. I don't know. I need to knit some of this up so that I feel motivated to spin more of it. But we'll see. Okay, and then the last spinning is a bobbin, and I have to say I am very proud of myself. So I think I did a fiber lucky dip over a year ago from Hedgehog Fibers, and I think I ended up with 3 bags of fiber. I didn't really like one of them. One of them I think I've already spun up, and the third one, it was like, oh, this is precious. Like, I do not, like, when I got it, I was like, I do not have the skills to spin this yet, but we're gonna hold on to it. It was 70% merino wool, 30% cashmere, and 125 grams. So I was like, okay, so this is a lot. This is enough. I could actually do something substantial with this, but I didn't feel, and in hindsight, I'm actually glad I held it for a little bit, because I think if I'd have tried to spin this when I was brand new, it would have been a disaster. But I am so proud of this, y'all. So this is my first half, and look how fine that is. See if I can pull some up. I have never spun that fine before. I am just not good at spinning fine. I tried, and when I first started this, it was hecka stressful, because I was like, the machine's just gonna rip this out of my hand. But if I didn't keep enough tension, it would rat tail up on me. I don't know. And I'm sure that's probably because I'm just not the world's best spinner, but I figured it out to like, keep enough twist in it that it doesn't snap. I never did snap any of this. I didn't have to reattach, which I'm very proud of. But it definitely was one I had to keep an eye on. Like, I couldn't get distracted. I had to pay attention. But I love the colors. It's like lavenders and ochres and yellows and pinks and kind of this like camel tan in there. But my goal is to finish the second ply before the end of the weekend and then ply them up. and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a fingering weight out of this, and so it's gonna be a 2-ply. I wasn't ever gonna make socks out of this because I don't like socks with cashmere, because cashmere pills. So is merino, and merino and cashmere together I think actually make terrible socks because they're not strong enough. But feel free to disagree with me on that. So yeah, I never plan to make socks with this, so I think a 2-ply is fine. But I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. It will depend on how much yardage I get. I might make a hat, because again, then you can watch the color change. I could do like a, I don't think I'll have enough to make a muscle burr, but I'm just really proud of this. This is like, I think this was the point where I was spinning this thinking, dang, you can do stuff. And I was like, maybe you need to upgrade your wheel. Maybe it's time. Maybe you've leveled up enough that you should get a spinning wheel, like a traditional spinning wheel. So anyway, very proud of that. Okay. Whew, talking too fast, I'm getting out of breath. All right, I've got 2-ish, 3-ish acquisitions. So if you're not into acquisitions, actually, I will put a timestamp on here because I'm gonna try to put in footage of the Handweavers Guild conference, and because I think our tickets give us access to the exhibitions as well. So I will, and my mom actually has a project she wants to show you guys. She's very proud of it. I'm proud of her. So there will be some footage at the end with that on there. So I will try to put a timestamp for when that starts, and I'll put that here so that if you don't want to watch the acquisitions, you can just skip forward. So if you do want to watch acquisitions, so this was my sock club for this month. This is called It's Giving Summer. And I have to say, I'm actually very excited about this because the colors are not exactly my colors. It definitely is giving summer. But I believe Two Pearls in a Pod have talked about this yarn, and I recognized the name. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be soft. And it is soft. So this is Australian, extra fine Australian superwash merino. Australian merino is insane. I think New Zealand probably is the same. Like that region, their merino is unbelievably soft. And this is just like, it's so squishy, but it's superwash and it's got nylon in it, so it can be socks. So, very, very pumped about this. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. I'm still on my April sock. Okay, and then, the last thing I did, gosh, I put things too far away. So PurlSoho was doing, over July 4th, they had a, like, site-wide sale, and I had been running a little low on this, so I ordered more. So I love their sweater soap in the bergamot scent. It's sealed, so I'm not gonna open it, but it's a big glass bottle, and it smells so good. It's also vegetarian, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, it's plant-based, saponified oils, organic vegetable glycerin, guarga. Okay, I'm not gonna read the rest of that, but it gets into words I can't pronounce. But it's all vegetable based or plant based, which is cool, and it smells amazing. But I couldn't just buy that because, you know, it's a waste of shipping. Although I still paid shipping because I couldn't justify buying enough stuff to not pay for shipping. But I did buy something that looked really lovely, and I had to try it. So I got their Eco Cashmere, which is 95% recycled cashmere and 5% other fibers. I don't know what those other fibers are. But I got it in the colorway Toasted Pecan. So it's a fingering weight. It is 236 yards per 50 grams. So it's definitely a fingering weight. It is light. So I got 2 of them. So I figured maybe I'd make like mittens and a hat or something, or just I don't know. This feels too nice for mittens, but maybe another hat. It's brown. Apparently that's my color. This is actually, I just got this, so I hadn't actually had a lot of time to play with it. This is so light. Like, this would actually make a delightful sweater because of how light it is. This is like, it looks like it's woolen spun, or worsted spun, but it feels like a woolen spun. Like, it is so light. So, maybe I'll have to buy some more of this. Maybe I can make myself a brown sweater instead of a hat. It is cashmere though, and that makes its price point a little higher. But okay, that's all I have for this week. So like I said, I will try to include some footage of the Hand Weavers Guild of America conference at this, and maybe a picture of my wheel if I end up getting one, who knows. I'm probably gonna get home kind of late today, just because we're going up to the conference in Wichita. Probably not gonna stay up there a very long time, and then come back, and my dad really wants to watch the Tour de France in person with me, and so I have to catch up on it, but we're gonna maybe, if we can, we're gonna sit and watch that for a while. I don't know if we'll have enough time to finish the stage, because I do not like fast forwarding if it's a good stage, and it's gonna be a good stage, so I will not fast forward, but I'll at least watch part of it with him and then drive home and finish editing this and get it posted. But I hope you guys have a good couple weeks. I think I did not look ahead at my schedule. I think I'll be okay to post in 2 weeks again. Maybe with some more spinning. I think that works out. Yeah, that should work out, I think. And then after that, next episode is flock. Oh, I'm so excited. Listen, I've got like a whole plan, and it's gonna be so much yarn. It's gonna be, I booked our tickets already, our flights already, but I think we're flying Delta, and I think I get 2 checked bags for free. I don't need 2 checked bags for free, but I also don't want to limit myself. So I need to, I may just we're gonna be there for several days, so I'm gonna have to bring clothes, and I have to bring workout stuff too, because I gotta work out while I'm there. So I wonder if I could pack everything in my, like a rolly suitcase, like carry-on suitcase, like a rolly carry-on, and then just put all the yarn in the check suitcase. I don't know, ideas. I will absolutely re-wear clothes too, so just get over it. But yeah, so I'll be back in a couple weeks, and I hope to see you guys then. I hope you get some time for knitting or spinning or whatever your craft is. I hope you get some time to move your body and get outside, spend time with people you love, and I will see you back in 2 weeks. Bye. Hey friends. Okay, I'm with my mom. Long time no see. Hello. So we just got back from the Hand Weavers Guild of America conference, and it was actually really fun. It was a very, very eclectic bunch. It was actually pretty weaving heavy, but it was still a lot of fun. So we have some yarn haul, but actually first, Mom has an FO. So she made the party line scarf. So
here, I'll let you show it.
Yeah. So sorry, it's very hot out here, so we probably won't last that long. But this is, and I think this is out of some Madeline Tosh that she got from me at some point. But yeah, see how long you can wear that.
I'm not wearing it for very long, but I love it.
It's a little toasty.
Yeah, It's a little toasty.
But yeah, so this was your second one.
This was my second one.
She's not showing the first one.
First one had a lot of mistakes, but the second one I think I did perfectly.
Yeah.
That's the first project that I've done without a visible mistake. So I was very proud of that.
She texted me and she's like, I did it and it's perfect.
So and I hadn't been knitting for a long time. I had taken a hiatus, which I shouldn't, because I about forgot how to do it.
But yeah, so we have enough out, and then we got some yarn haul. So I don't have everything. I did get a wheel. It's inside. I didn't want to bring it out here, but I'll show you guys a picture of it. There are actually a few different places you could try wheels, and so I got to try a Luette, an Ashford, and what was the other one?
Ladybug.
The Shot Ladybug. And I actually love the Ashford Kiwi, and so that's what I got. And her name is Agnes. She's inside. Let's see, do we want to start with what we got? I'll go first. I bought more. Surprise. So the first place I bought yarn from, I forgot, they had these alpaca socks, and they call them women's loose top alpaca socks. I will see about that. I've got pretty big calves, thanks Dad. But these were so soft and they were cute, so I got them. And then I got this yarn, which I bought it entirely because of the fiber content. It is soft, but it is 50% Cormo, 50% Newfoundland dog. Which is just...
We had to get a dog. We
got a dog. I swear one of the tables, of the shops, I swear they had a dog under their table.
I think.
But I didn't want to be rude and look. But anyway, so we got some dog yarn.
Yeah.
And then, do you want to show some of yours?
I got some little ones, and you'll have to tell what they are.
So actually, one of the vendors was selling Holst. So she got some Holst yarn in the coast, and she got two different colors. So let's see, saffron and Jaffa. And so you were gonna marl these.
Yes.
And what were you gonna make out of them?
I'm gonna do another party line scarf.
Yeah.
From my friend.
So
I think either that one or out of these two.
So this is the Holst Titicaca. No, it's a place, but like it's really hard
just
not
like
to
the
giggle.
name of it.
I don't think this one had a name. I think this was just a. Oh, does it?
Yeah, it did, because they wrote it down. This one's Hunter.
Oh, where am I?
And this one's
Amazon.
Okay.
So she's gonna marl these two. These are 100% alpaca.
They're just so soft.
They're
so
nice.
soft.
I actually got some of those too.
Yes.
At one point I walked away with two of these, and then I thought, no, I need this, and so it's gonna be a pretty dramatic marl. But I could stripe it, I guess. But I don't know what my colors are. They're Gladioli, which is this one, and Heather Rose. So
Very
those
pretty.
are those two. Okay. And then I'm like dropping them on the ground. Okay, then there was a dyer. I don't know if I think they dye it, but they were a mill from San Antonio, or around San Antonio, and so they had some really interesting blends. This one is coming unwound, but this one is merino and mohair. It's 50-50. I think it's like a worsted weight, but I am sensitive to mohair, and this has no halo, so it's really interesting. She also had like buckets of fleece you could buy, and you could like buy a certain, like they had little plastic containers you could stuff it in, and she said it was actually from the Angora goat, so it's mohair. That's very interesting. But and then this is, this was a different farm, and I don't remember what I actually don't. Miniature sheep. I don't know what type of sheep, but this is from another farm near San Antonio. I just like the colors. This one's a little bit more rustic, but it's still pretty. But okay, do you want to show?
You want to show mine?
Yeah.
I got some earrings.
So
that was the end of my yarn, because I didn't buy a ton of yarn.
Like these are actually made out of yarn. Like,
aren't they cute?
How cute are those?
I love those.
They also had some needle gauge
earrings.
Earrings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got a cat, which I need this.
So she got this. the Yarn Adventures truck was there. They actually had it parked inside the convention center, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
But they had this little thing so that if she, because a lot of the yarn that Mom gets, was stuff from my stash, and it's not all labeled really well. So she can kind of lay the yarn in here and figure out what weight of yarn it is.
Which I always have a problem with. So.
Yeah, so. And that's from Katrinkles.
Yeah. And then
so this yarn truck had a lot of really funny
had a lot of
merchandise.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
But we got in a fit of giggles with this one. So I bought her this because I was like, you have to have it. So isn't it? It's just a bunch of almost cuss words, but not quite. I think, what was your favorite?
My favorite one is Holy Mother Forking Shirt Balls. I love the holy shirt balls.
Bullshirt.
Bullshirt.
Son of a bench.
Ashhole. I know, we're so sad. We're so sad.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was crying laughing. I think.
Know. And then I got a sticker that says, "You're not doing it wrong, you're just doing it your way." It's because, hello, that's my way. So that's what I do.
I have one more. It's not yarn, it's fiber. And this is actually from a dyer who's from Wichita. And she is actually going to be at Flock, so that's exciting. This is the 316 Dye Studios. And I got some Targhee fiber in the Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which felt appropriate being in Kansas. So this might be something I spin up on my new wheel. We'll see. But and you don't have any.
That was it.
Okay.
That was
I have one more thing I'll show, and I'll talk more about this as I go. But one of the spinning wheel companies, Louette. Oops, that came unwrapped. Let's try to fix this real quick. She so one of the ladies there was she was wearing a t-shirt, and I forgot which one she said it was, but it was knit out of a type of linen called Euroflax, and she's saying it was like, it's very popular amongst weavers, but it's kind of fallen out of favor amongst knitters. But it has to be treated a very specific way. So I think she said, like, instead of winding it on a ball winder, you need to wind it into a hand wound ball twice. So you do that first, and then you redo it. And then once you knit your garment, you should machine wash it at least once, I think.
I think she said 3 times. I think she said 3 times.
And once I felt it, it kind of made sense. So it is crunchy. But this is the Euroflex. So she very kindly gifted me 4 skeins of this. So I got 2 colors. I don't know if the lighting is very good to see those, but so this one is champagne, and this is brick red. And I think I might make a Tolsta and just stripe those. But it's crunchy. So, and she said when you wash it, the lint trap.
Oh yeah.
She said it'll look like your entire sweater's in the lint trap, but I guess it just sheds. And then the sweater she was wearing was really soft. It was actually
very soft. And she's had it for a while. She said she's done this, a skirt and something else that she's had for 20 years.
She said shirt. I don't think she said skirt.
Okay, I thought she said shirt. Holy shirt balls. I don't know.
Anyway,
but it was very soft.
Yeah, and she said she has some shirts that she's made like 20-30 years ago, and they still look brand new. So
exactly.
This will be interesting to try. I'll have to definitely try it this summer before we're out of the winter or out of the summer clothes. So maybe that'll be my flock shirt.
There you go. There you go. Perfect.
But yeah, that was all our haul. And now I'm gonna go watch Tour de France with my dad. So I'll see you guys.
Bye.